I need to make a video of like what has happened to me, like up checking like all this. You just feel like this bang and we're like. My name's Allie. Welcome to my channel. Today, hear what happened to me during Mercury retrograde. I actually just kind of like got into understanding about like the stars and like all that stuff in the past few years, and then I heard about Mercury retrograde for the first time like last year, and I didn't really understand it. It never really like impacted me. Like I would kind of know when it was going on and nothing ever really happened, so I was like, I don't know, maybe like things are a little bit off, or I like heard about other people being off, and I was like, okay, yeah, like maybe that's a thing. But this Mercury retrograde was in Libra, and I'm a Libra. I don't know if it works this way where like if it's in your sign, like you get hit the hardest or whatever it is, but that's what happened to me. I kept kind of saying as a joke to everyone like, oh, I need to make a video of like what has happened to me. I don't know, it's just a lot. So I'm gonna like, some of it's just like stupid and just kind of funny, and then some of it's like, is actually kind of serious. So the first thing, so Mercury retrograde this year started on September 27th, which is my birthday. And this is so stupid. I was talking with coworkers prior to my birthday, and you know, they'd even mentioned like, oh, like I know your birthday's coming up. Like I was like checking to see whose birthday is, like super exciting, whatever. Someone's gonna like say happy birthday to me like at work. Like I work remotely, so just, you know, just send me a little message, whatever. I was just like excited. Not one person from work said happy birthday, right? Okay, not a big deal. I'm just throwing in, I gotta throw in the little things here to complete the whole story. But I was like, oh, like, no, it said happy birthday, like whatever. Little did I know it was to come. I think the next day was Tuesday. I just like didn't have a great day at work. I've recently gotten promoted and just like have been really navigating like how to do the job. It's been like really challenging, and so I just had a really bad day trying to figure that out. Not too bad. Now it's Wednesday and I was doing dishes and I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and all of a sudden, I noticed that the water wasn't draining in my sink. So I went to hit the garbage disposal and my entire sink just starts like throwing up. You know what I mean? When it just starts like up chucking like all the stuff from inside the sink, and I was like, that's so weird. And every time I would do the garbage disposal, it would suck it down and then it would just blow up even more. And I was like, oh, this is not good. I text my landlords, and they like live right upstairs, so they came down and they're trying to figure it out. And as they're like trying to figure it out, the water just starts like going up and up and up and up. This doesn't look good. It's like kind of rising quickly. They're like, oh, you know, it's probably clogged on like your end or whatever. And I'm like, I've been here for like a month and I've been traveling, so, and I also have that little like thing that catches the food. Like I hardly even use the garbage disposal because food, like I catch it and then throw it away. I'm like, oh, I don't think like it's me. So then he's like, okay, I'll call the plumber the next day. And I'm like, great. So then I wake up at 5:30 in the morning or 6 in the morning, whatever, 6:30, whatever. I was tired. I like, you know, I was out of it. I hear water just dripping. So I hear like water dripping, and I'm like, oh, is it raining outside? Like, but I normally can't hear the rain because I'm, you know, on the bottom floor. So it's not like the rain's like hitting my roof or anything like that. I'm like, that's weird. And then all of a sudden it clicked with me, and I was like, ah, it's my sink. And so I run outside. I just woke up, like I'm just not awake, and my entire kitchen is flooded, like completely flooded. And I'm like, and it just missed. Like I had like books on the counter and like stuff on the counter, and it went onto the floor, and it just missed like all the stuff I had on the counter, which I was so lucky and I'm like very grateful for. So it's like flooded, it's like pool of water, and I live by myself. I don't have like tons of towels and stuff, so I'm like taking all my towels. I'm taking like my kitchen towels and my bathroom towels, and I'm just like throwing it down, and I'm calling them because it just keeps like coming out of my sink, like overflowing. They realized that wife was in the shower, and basically I was getting her shower water coming out of my sink. And so I was like, okay, gross, but like could have been worse. It was warm, like soapy water, whatever, could have been worse. I'm like, I'm not gonna complain about that at this point. So anyway, they find out that it was so clogged on their end in the drain that the water needed somewhere to go, and the only place it had to go was up my sink. So instead of going like out the right way, it went up my sink. So got that fixed, and they're now gonna regularly clean the pipes. So all right, next thing. So this is all happening in like days, right? And I'm like, okay, that's like done with, whatever. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, I told you I got promoted, and I'm like trying to figure out what's going on with my job and everything. And so on Wednesday, during the whole flooding thing, I'm still working, like take down all these notes. One of the people that I'm working with, and it was just a lot of like important information to understand what's going on. And I never do this, but I took them on my iPad. I have like an iPad with a pencil, and I was just so that I could write faster. And I stick them in the drawer in the TV stand. I needed the notes for the next day, on Thursday, which is now the day I'm talking about. I needed them for an important meeting, and I knew people were gonna ask me a lot of questions and stuff, so I was like, okay, by the time, like I have all the answers and whatever. So it's like 9:30, the meeting's at 10, and I go into the drawer to get my notes. Realize that the drawer won't open. Not like, oh, something's stuck inside the drawer and it won't open. It's like, it just wouldn't open. Like, it didn't make any sense. So I'm like panicking, because I'm like, I need these notes. Like, I don't really know what's going on and don't want to like look stupid. So I take my electric drill. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna drill the back of the TV stand, and I'm gonna get the notes out. So I drill a massive hole in the back of my TV stand, only to find out that this is the back of the TV stand. This is the drawer. Drilled a hole, but the whole drawer was like, there was a back to the drawer. So it didn't matter that I just drilled a massive hole into the back of the TV stand, because I still had to get through the drawer, which I was not gonna be able to get through full like wooden drawer. So I was like, great, cool. Like, can't get my notes and just drilled a hole in the back of my furniture for no reason. Great. So then I was in this meeting, and they started asking me all these questions, and I was like, you know guys, I gotta tell you something like really stupid that happened to me. Like, I took my notes and they're stuck in my drawer, and everyone's like, oh, like your dog ate your homework. And I was like, all right, well, you know, yeah, pretty much. So not the best experience. Next thing. These are the little things that I'm also like putting in a week. I like gained 2 pounds, and I was like, okay, like great. Oh yeah, so I start to like kind of figure out what's going on with work a little bit and get like a little bit more comfortable. So we like have this direction. Basically, I'm a product manager. We have this product that we're building, and we were using this certain vendor for something. So I had figured it all out. I was like, okay, I understand what's going on. And then Friday, we find out for security reasons, we can't use this vendor. And this decision of using this vendor was made before I even got the job, so I was not a part of it. So then I was like, okay, we're starting from scratch, and it was just a whole nightmare. Let's get into it, but it's just another thing. Okay, the next thing. This is the big one. This is probably 3 weeks into Mercury retrograde. I think the second week like wasn't too bad for me. That's when the whole work stuff happened. But third week, we're into like October now. My boyfriend's family comes to visit my family for the first time. They're in Utah, and they come to Massachusetts to visit. And we have all these plans to like go out to dinner. And everyone gets to my house. We're having a great time. My parents live 30 minutes outside Boston, and we're gonna go to a restaurant around there. It's getting long, and then it's time to go to dinner. So I'm one of the people that's driving to the restaurant, and I have my boyfriend and his sister in the back seat, and we're at a stoplight, and all of a sudden we just feel like this bang, and we're like, I'm just like so quiet, and my boyfriend looks at me. It was like, I was so surprised at how calm you were. And I honestly was like, at that point, it doesn't seem like the stories I told you before were a lot, but it was like, I just expected something to happen. I was like, you know, my fault for driving my car when Mercury's in retrograde. You know what I mean? Like, my fault. So I get out of the car, and basically the woman behind me had stepped on the gas instead of the brake. And so she had kept going. So even when she hit my car, she like kept going under my car because she thought she was like hitting the brake. Like, she just had a moment of like panic. Basically, she was super upset and she felt so bad. When I saw how bad she felt, I instantly like turned off my like, oh, like, what are you doing? And I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. No worries. And so worked it all out. Everyone was okay. Her car was like completely totaled. Mine was undrivable. The whole like bottom piece was messed up and my wheel was like lifted up. Had to get both cars totaled. You know, I'm really fortunate. Like, I have friends and family who've like lent me cars, because when I was dealing with the insurance the next day, they told me that I had $30 a day for a car. Not only like in any economic climate is that non-existent, rent a car for $30 a day, but especially now with microchip shortage and there aren't as many cars being produced, it's like impossible to get a car, especially for that price. Luckily, like, my mom was like, you can use my car for the meantime. So I still have that to this day, and it is October 29th today. So, okay. So after that, so my car gets totaled. That's a big kicker. Then like my boyfriend moves into a new apartment, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get him like a little housewarming gift. So I bought him this candle. It was coming on like the perfect day and I was gonna give it to him, and it came completely shattered. And I was like, oh yeah, like, well, my fault for buying a glass candle because Mercury's in retrograde, right? It's kind of stupid, but I thought it was funny. I was just like, honestly, like, and even now, even after it's been out of retrograde or whatever, I'm like, all this stuff just keeps on happening. Things just happen one on top of the other. You kind of like get used to it. So my whole remedy for the situation, so I decided the best way to remedy all the negativity was to buy this Survive Mercury Retrograde candle, which came after Mercury retrograde ended. So a toast. That's the back of the candle. Cool. This is the front. It says Survive Mercury retrograde. I don't know if I should like wait for the next, I don't know if I should, or I should just light this baby up now, but I just felt like this was my only option. And it smells really good. I feel like it smells like it could have really saved me some trouble, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, if you liked this video, please subscribe. I'm new to YouTube. I don't know, just wanted to tell a funny story, have you get to know me a little bit more. So if you like this video, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.